Hello, distinguished educators, policy analysts, and thought leaders. We have entered a new era in assessment, that is, two board exams a year for class 10 students. This sounds not merely a procedural shift, but a philosophical turning point as well. Objective of this video is not to resist the reform, but to introspect the readiness. So the real question is not whether this change is going to do A, B, C, D, E, but yes, whether we are ready to handle this change with responsibility, equity, and empathy. What exactly this circular says about? It's a very important question. That let us decode this circular. Globally, if we look into, it is talking about two exams, one score, and from 2026 it will be applicable, and it is for class 10. And if we deeply dive into the circular, we get into that CBSE has mandated two board exams annually for class 10 from 2026. February examination is compulsory for all, and in May, students can opt for the exam if they wish to be. And the best score will be retained from both of the examinations, and syllabus will be the full syllabus or the entire syllabus that they are appearing in February. Absence in 3 or more subjects in February will be marked as essential repeat. It looks like a very bold move on a piece of paper, but yes, how much we are ready to implement this change practically in our school, that's a very important question. What are the key benefits of this policy? There is a huge pressure among the students because it is going to be the first board exam for class 10. So lots and lots of pressure is there. So it is like one shot performance because students really they go very low because they start getting this pressure for board exam from class 9th onwards. So it is there that this one shot performance pressure is released to a greater extent. It also encourages self-reflection and growth over time. It also aligns with the flexibility of NEP 2020. It also helps students to recover from the setbacks, sudden setbacks during the examination days, such as any medical problem, emotional traumas, or any other problem that a child is facing. And also it allows high performing students a second chance without penalty. If implemented thoughtfully, this could evolve assessment into a developmental process and not just a grading ritual. The pressure of second attempt. This concern is there that whether this pressure will become a problem for students or this second attempt will help students to perform better. For example, if child is scoring 88 in February, should they be asked to improve? What if this pressure isn't academic but emotional? This is how optional becomes inevitable and how flexibility turns to fear. Is a child ready for the second reset, or are there some another pressures that could hamper a child? So make sure that we have to consider that how a well-meaning reform can unintentionally deepen the emotional fragility, especially in terms of already navigating academic identity crisis. The equity blind spot. Let us talk about it, because can every school offer these two exam cycles with equal preparation and support? That's a very important and a crucial thing that we need to consider. If we are not considering, then we will be witnessing a wide gap among the rural belt schools and the urban belt schools. So rural schools may not have duplicate invigilation capacity. Low-income households may struggle to finance the second rounds of coaching. Students with learning needs might not cope with syllabus repetition. In short, choice without inclusion becomes inequality. So when we reform structure without equalizing resources, we reward privilege and overlook potential. I consider that coaching industry jackpot is also ready now. Whenever a reform adds repetition, the coaching industry finds a new revenue stream. Already centers are marketing February batch and May batch separately. The exam economy is now doubled, but not the learning ecosystem. The result: students stretched between syllabi and strategies, parents concerned into extra spending, and a normalization of external dependency. The real question is, has the learning experience grown as rapidly as the commercial opportunity? What is going to be the impact on grade 9 and 11? Reform doesn't affect a single class. When there is a reform, it affects the complete chain. Now onwards, class 9 will need to rush through the syllabus to keep the pace. Class 11 admissions face delays until May exams results arrive. Schools will need to shift internal calendars, teacher evaluations, and academic awards. This isn't a policy update, it's a structure tremor rippling from class 9 to 12, and if not mapped correctly, this chain reaction may choke progress and not able to catalyze it. How the people concerned with this reform will get affected. So what are the challenges across all the stakeholders? Now let us map the challenges first. Students, burnout, will it be more or less? Let us leave it to the situation, that how the schools are planning to handle it. Guilt, not able to perform well in the first attempt, peer comparison, and perfection anxiety. All these things will add on to student box. What about the teachers? Two-phase curriculum, delivery with no additional planning time. That is going to be the major challenge. Parents, bit of confused, bit of pressure, and yes, finances got stressed up. Schools, what about the infrastructure? Because for few months they have to run everything into double. Are they ready for that? How is the calendar going to get affected? This reform isn't just about academic structure. It is about the emotional architecture of a school year as well. Where is the support structure? What kind of support will be there? CBSE has provided the examination format, but what about the rest of the things related to it? Mental health mandate for students and staff. Is it there? Teacher pacing guide for dual delivery. Is it ready and in hand? Dual cycle pedagogy. Training's been done or not? Social, emotional, and ethical learning. Integration done or not? This is like building a second floor without checking the strength of the foundation. Can we go through the gaps? What are the gaps that really need to be addressed, that are extremely required, that yes, we have to work on them? So let us see. No modular syllabus for second attempt. It is just the redundant repetition. No scaling mechanism for rural or resource-constrained schools. No feedback loop to guide students between February and May. No phased pilot before national rollout. These are not oversights, they are system vulnerabilities, and they must be addressed before the system falters. What are the possible consequences if not properly managed? If left unbuffered, this policy may lead to coaching dependency that will result into the widened class divide, burnout, more students disengaging from academics, gaming the system, strategic low scoring in February and then try again in May, devaluation of first attempt, undermining teacher effort and student self-worth. Let us remember, policy without psychological safety can harm the child, and it aims to rather serving a child in a positive or a constructive way. So I repeat, policy without psychological safety can harm the very children it aims to serve. How the stakeholders related to it are considering it, this reform, how they are taking it. Students are excited, but bit emotionally overwhelmed. Parents are confused uh, and they got fear also for the underperformance. Teachers are now caught between coverage and comprehension. Schools are logistically stretched out. A good reform must not change the system, it must prepare its people. What happens when a good intent meet ground level gaps? Let's be clear, intentions are noble, but without ground level mapping, this is what we risk. A retake culture that reduces seriousness of the first attempt, increased screen time and tuition addiction, urban-rural gaps growing ever wider, students learning to memorize quickly and not understand deeply because time span has shortened, young minds thinking, I'm only good if I improve. That's not assessment. That's identity erosion, and we have to consider it. Are such kind of reforms available across the globe also? Globally, dual exams do exist, but never in isolation. SAT offers multiple attempts and is self-paced. IB, modular retakes are there, project-based rebalancing is there. Finland, teacher-driven assessments are there. There are no formal examinations. Singapore, dual system backed by SEL curriculum and counseling. We have borrowed the structure, but what about the scaffolds? That's not global benchmarking. It is partial mimicry at the moment unless and until we are applying it. As a director of Edu Nexa International Private Limited, I consider that we have three tiers for which we have to prepare the readiness model: academic tier, emotional tier, and structural tier. And we need to work on all these tiers in order to get this reform practically thriving. There are few suggestives that we can implement. I will be adding more in the upcoming videos where in depth we will be working on it because it's too early to exactly provide big details right now. But still, few suggestives are there that we need to create, we need to structure on the mandatory basis in all organizations. For March, we have to be prepared for the mindset labs, for self-worthing building post-February. Reflective parent guide must be there. To retake or not, there must be a decision metrics. Spiral syllabus modules for deeper learning, not the repetition. 10-month planning cycle with built-in wellness buffers. That's required now. Professional development for teachers, teaching twice, not teaching more. It is there. So are we ready for it? These are not the tools. These are the survival kits for ethical implementations. Otherwise, if we are rushing around the time and forcing our students to get into this, seep into this reform, it will create several other kind of pressures that we are not ready to map right now. It's a shift from exam to evolution, no doubt in that. And being a director, I believe that exams should measure growth, not just memory. Retakes should be about reflection, not repetition. Students shouldn't be trained to beat the system, but to understand themselves within. This policy offers a door, but what we build behind it, that's our collective responsibility. And we need to be more responsible than before ever. So finally, I say that do not reform the format, reform the experience. Let's not stop at logistics. Let's prepare our schools, our teachers, our students, and our parents, not just to survive this reform, but to lead it. Because what our students need is not more mark sheets, they need more meaning towards for their learning, for their growth, for their grit, for their resilience. So let's take a lead to reform the experience, because this reform is a new evolution in assessment. And let's not this reform die out because of few gaps that we can easily map collectively. So next videos will be adding more to this reform, that how schools can pace up without creating pressure in their ongoing school circles, school system, school calendar. Thank you.